وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُّدَّكِرٍ
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह वकफ़ा वसलाम अला इबादिहि अल्लज़ीना इस्तफ़ा अम्मा बाद औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला सय्यिदिना मुहम्मदिन व अला आलिहि व सहाबिहि व सल्लम. My honorable elder and younger, my dear brother and sister, today is our topic, the great future. In this regard of Muslim nation, when we talk of the future, we generally have in view either a short term or a long term plan or a project in our lifetime. Similarly, when we predict a bright or a promising future for someone, we have in mind his successful career in the life. Thus, we invariably think of our lifetime prospects when speaking of the future. Our imagination rarely crosses the border of our earthly existence, and it is seldom that we try to look beyond the horizon. The idea of gain and loss is similarly linked with the ups and downs in life. In short, we are severely handicapped on account of our environmental preoccupations. In the appreciation of life and its opportunities, the best that we try to do is to make our temporal life richer and happier. The life to come is the concern of a very few of us, and little thought is bestowed on providing for the future that awaits everyone, irrespective of his faith and ideology. Islam teaches us that life does not cease after death. The grave is only a cradle for the life to come. The realization of this truth comes when one has crossed the Rubicon or has reached the point of no return. The die is cast at the time of death before the fatal or the final hours of everything in the matter of redemption, reconciliation, rehabilitation, and or reconstruction is possible. God is the most great, the most kindest. He is there to grant pardon for the asking. If one were even to whisper to himself in his last moment his regret for his lying misdeed and ask for pardon with a resort to be good. If his life ought to be spared, he will gain his pardon. He will be forgiven. For God is ever forgiving, like to forgive, and we should therefore always ask Him for His forgiveness daily and night, every day and every night. There are signs in abundance of His bountiful mercy, for one wishes to see what a pity it is to waste precious for time in running after the transitory comfort of this life. The ways of the heavenly pleasures, which are in store for the repentant and for those who love and fear Him, it is also to be greatly lamented that how easily people fall a prey to false creeds and ruin their future. We have not tried to argue the case of destruction and the life to come for the simple reason that follower of all the religions believe in it as a common article of faith. Others have also come to believe in it directly or indirectly. Hence, it is a most point. However, there is need to bring it to the forefront and to keep it uppermost in our minds so that the inherent instinct in us of providing for the future can be made use of the provide for the everlasting life in the next world. The thought of future makes one much more sober and wiser, and also lessens his anxiety to have more and more for the present, the earth to embellish. The present is the root cause of so much of disappointment and discontentment that we experience today and expect in alarming dimension in the year to follow. This world is a place one has to live, and whatever may be his gains in material terms have to be left behind. Even his body is to be turned somewhere else or disposed of otherwise. It is only a spiritual asset which survive and bring credit to him. The people talk of his munificence and not of his riches. His kind heartedness and not of his authority, his fatty and not of the power that he possesses, his good deeds and not of his bank balance. So, in this respect, today is part of this topic. The great future has been explained. Inshallah, the other day, the part 2 will be explained about the great future. Wa khudawana anil hamdulillah rabbil alameen.